Hello, guys. Good evening. How are you today, guys? I hope you're totally fine. We're going to start with our class. Okay, so I'm gonna call the list and I'm gonna give some instructions because today, at the first time, we have the writing evaluation. Okay, so we're going to start right away with that. Just give me a sec, and we are going to call the list. Okay, so don't forget that to call the list, you need to use your microphone in order to have your assistant register in the recording as well. Okay, so we're going to start. I'm going to share my screen. Just give me a second. Okay. All right. So, Alvites. Hello. Let's see who else is here. Barbarón.
Present, Miss.
All right, perfect. Cayupe. Cayupe. Kamakwari.
Present,
Kamakwari.
Miss.
Okay. Kamakwari. Carrera Lazo.
Here, Miss. Good evening.
Good evening. How are you? Kasani Quispe.
Present, Miss. Good evening.
Hello. Chirinos Quispe.
Here, Miss. Good evening.
Hello, Dejana. Esteban Chacón. Esteban Chacón. Estrella Pérez.
Present, Miss. Good evening.
Hello. Grijalva de la Cruz.
Present, Miss. Good evening.
Hello. Waman Chambi Yadira.
Here, Miss. Good evening.
Good evening. Hello. Ibarra León Gisela. Ibarra León. Idone Bullón.
Good evening, Miss. Present.
Hello. Medina Vera. Vera. Medina Vera.
Good evening, teacher. Sorry.
Good evening. Nolasco Cruz.
Present, Miss. Good evening.
Good evening. Oceda Quintana. Oceda Quintana.
Present, Miss. Good
Okay.
evening.
That is here. Paitan Salome.
Present, Miss. Good evening.
Good evening. Papuico Ñaupa.
Here, Miss.
All right, perfect. Paucar Kama Yankee.
Present, Miss. Good evening.
Good evening. Pérez Melgar. Paola.
Present, Miss. Good evening.
Good evening. How are you? Pérez Melgar Sandra.
Here, Miss. Good evening.
Good evening. Piñas Ortiz Franco. O Frankly, perdón. Piñas Ortiz Frankly. Piñas.
Good evening.
Okay. Pobis Escobar.
And a chat.
Present, Miss.
Here.
Okay, Pobis. Oh,
Me.
you're in the chat. You're writing through the chat. Oh, remember that I told you please to use the microphone when I call the list because I don't look at the chat when I call the list. Quinteros Córdoba. Quinteros Córdoba. Reyes Segama.
Present, Miss. Good evening.
Good evening. Hello. Rivera Bermúdez.
Present, Miss.
All right. Rivera Escobar. Rivera Escobar. Rivera Escobar. Okay, so give me a sec. Okay. Okay, guys, you're using the microphone, okay? Están utilizando el chat, okay? En casos excepcionales, por favor. Algunos de ustedes pueden tener problemas de micrófono, sí, pero algunos otros no, ¿bien? Dejen, por favor, el chat para aquellos que no que tienen problemas con el micrófono. Recuerden que yo no estoy viendo ambas cosas al mismo tiempo, estoy viendo, pues, de manera general, solo la asistencia, no puedo leer los mensajes, ¿listo? A ver, ahora voy a ir entonces con los que han escrito mensajes. Romani, perdón, Riveros Waman Nelson.
Present, Miss. Good evening.
Good evening, hello. Romani Rua Lisbeth.
Present, Miss. Good evening.
Good evening, hello. Romo Zapayana y Frandi. Romo Zapayana y Frandi.
Present, Miss. Good evening.
Okay, hello. Saavedra Villa Yajaira.
Present, Miss. Good evening.
Good evening, hello Yajaira. Samaniego Orellana Xiomara.
Present, Miss.
All right. Taipe Egoabil Domitila. Taipe Egoabil. Taipe Egoabil. Torres Valdión.
Good evening, Miss Present.
Hello. Tobar Taipe Fiorella.
Present, Miss. Good evening.
Hello. Ventura Vilca.
Present, Miss.
All right. Ceballos Falcón. Ceballos Falcón.
Present, Miss. Good evening.
Good evening. Hello. And Ceballos Laureano.
Good evening, Miss. Present.
Okay, I'm gonna go now to see who answered. Okay, voy a volver a llamar, esta vez voy a estar verificando, ¿bien? Cayupe Maldonado Anthony. Aquí está. En el chat. Ok. Esteban Chacón. Esteban Chacón. No está en el chat. Ibarra León.
Present, Good evening.
Ok, hello, good evening. Quinteros Córdoba Ruby. ¿Dónde está? Oh, está aquí. Final Quinteros. Yeah. Type Goabil. Listo. Please remember that in the welcoming email, it says that you need to make sure that your microphone is working because this is a language practice course. I cannot give you, we cannot start this course without listening to you because otherwise that would be really bad, okay? I need to listen to you practicing. Okay. So, let's continue so fast, so quick, okay? So we left yesterday, I'm sorry. So we left yesterday. I don't know what happened, sorry, I'm like, just give me a sec. Okay, we left yesterday in lesson number 3, okay? So lesson number 3 was about, we were talking about, well, have got, right? We were describing people like physically and also internally. When we talked about their personality, we know a lot of adjectives that we can use for personality. So we were here, we were talking about the have got part. right? And now we're going to talk about the second part, that it's imperatives and modal verbs, okay? We're going to see a general view of imperatives and modal verbs, okay? We're going to see what is a modal verb and what is can, could, should, and how do I use them, okay? So let's see, what is an imperative? An imperative is a way to give suggestions, yes. It's also a way to give orders, yes. It's also a way to give requests, yes. It's a way to give command, yes. To give advice, yes. Suggestions, yes. Okay, so I can do all of this with imperatives. I can say, I can give requests, command, suggestions, advice. I can do that. Okay, I totally can. So I request, command, suggest, and advise using an imperative. And what is an imperative, Miss? An imperative will have just two forms, an affirmative form and a negative form. An affirmative form is like this, okay? Pay attention, please. Be quiet. Open the window. Write your names. Turn right, okay? Oh, sorry, turn right. So how can I do it? Okay, to start with, you need to understand that an imperative is just direct, okay? Is direct. I cannot tell an imperative to a third person. For example, my friend Maria, I cannot say an imperative to her. I just can't, okay? An imperative is direct from me to you, okay? Or from you to me. And as I said, we're going to have four things to use an imperative of: requests, commands, suggestions, and advice. So an imperative is made of the verb, the infinitive form of the verb, the base form, and some complement that might give context to this imperative. For example, if I say, pay attention, please, I am not saying you pay attention, okay? When I can use an imperative, yes, I can discard, I can omit, I cannot put, I cannot write the subject pronoun, okay? I take that off. I put it over there and I say, pay attention, for example. Or be quiet, to start with a verb be, okay? Be quiet. Open the window. I can do that. Okay, that is an imperative. Miss, how can I say a negative of the imperative? Or how can I use the imperatives as negatives? Can I do that? Yes, you can, okay? You can do that. You can make the negative form using that structure. Do not, or in contraction, don't, okay? Both of them are correct. You can say do not or don't and the verb. For example, if I want to make these imperatives negative, I can say don't pay attention. Don't be quiet. Don't open the window. Don't write your name. Don't turn right. Okay? So yes, in imperatives and in the only context of it, I can omit the subject pronoun. Why do I omit the subject pronoun? Because this is not general. This is direct, okay? The imperatives, the only use of the imperatives are directly, okay? That is, going directly, okay? Understood? So this is really simple, okay? So let's write some imperatives in the chat. Vamos a escribir algunos imperativos en el chat, okay? So let's write some positive imperatives. I want to read those positive imperatives that you have, okay? A ver, vamos a leer esos positive imperatives. A ver, veamos. What can you say about that? For example, context means I need context to give imperatives. Okay, let's give out some context. A context for an imperative, the pandemic, okay, the pandemic. What can you tell, directly to another person and make it as an imperative. For example, you have all of these uses: requests, commands, suggestions, advice. So in any form, you can give an imperative as request, command, suggestion, advice. So what can you say? Context: pandemic. For example, I tell you, wear your mask. Okay, wear your mask. That's a suggestion. Wear you always wear your mask. Okay. Okay, Janet says, keep your distance. Yeah, definitely. Okay, that is something that we need to do. Keep your distance. Definitely. What else? What else can you tell to all of your friends, okay? And as an imperative, maybe you're giving a suggestion, or maybe giving advice, or giving a command. It says, wash your hands. Very good, Janet. Okay, wash your hands. That is important. Watch your hands. Watch out. Yeah, watch out. Okay, you need to be careful, so watch out, please. What else? What else can you say about that? The pandemic. What other recommendation, suggestion, give advice can you give to your respective partners? Francisco says, don't greet by shaking hands. Perfect. Okay, don't. This is a not. Don't greet by shaking hands. Maybe a fist, right? Maybe a fist, but not shaking hands. Wear the mask correctly. Very good, Jadira. That is a really good one. It's not only means wear the mask, but wear the mask correctly. It needs to cover the nose, okay? It needs to cover the nose and all of your mouth. It's not okay if it is, under the nose, and it really annoys me. Espero que ustedes no sean de ese tipo de personas que cuando vas por la calle ves a este tipo de personas con la mascarilla acá, ¿ok? O sea, y peor otras con la mascarilla de chalina aquí, ¿ok? Entonces, that really annoys me, ¿ok? Eso sí me frustra, me hierve la sangre cuando veo ese tipo de personas, y espero que ustedes no sean de ese tipo, ¿ok? Utilicen su mascarilla hasta arriba. ¿Listo? Hasta arriba. Si no, no están, pues, ojo, las mascarillas, por ahí sí han leído los estudios y lo comparto en español un poquito, las mascarillas no son para que no te contagies. Ay, mis, pero ¿qué importa? Total, el que se está arriesgando soy yo. No es así. ¿Listo? Recuerden que si uno utiliza la mascarilla, bueno, también es como un dispositivo de protegerse, pero es para no contagiar. ¿Listo? Entonces, si tú no utilizas la mascarilla correctamente, estás haciendo que las personas en tu entorno, pues, tengan mayor probabilidad, si es que tú eres una persona, pues, si es que, bueno, estás vacunado y solo transmites, o quizás si es que eres asintomático, puedas contagiar a otras personas. Entonces, wear the mask correctly, ¿ok? Wear the mask correctly, o quizás en un ambiente donde sea muy aireado, todavía pasa, pero si estás en un lugar muy apretadito, pues wear the mask correctly, okay? What else? What else can you say through the pandemic? Well, I guess that you understand this part, okay? Bien, hemos entendido entonces esta parte de imperatives. And now let's go and let's review, okay, once again, because this already, you know what this is. These are the modal verbs, okay? What are modal verbs means? Okay, what are modal verbs? Okay, so we have verbs and we have modal verbs. Just the verbs, they indicate an action, right? A modal verb indicates a whole situation, okay? A modal verb can be used also as an auxiliary. That is another difference, than the verbs. A verb, I cannot use the verb as an auxiliary. Of course, I need an auxiliary for the verb. But for modal verbs, they give you a whole context. That's one. And also, they can be denied each one of them. Okay, for example, I can use not with each one of them to deny this context. Okay. Miss, can I make some questions with them? Yes, most of them. You can create some questions, most of them. All right. So we're going to see the use of these modal verbs because each one of them has a particular use. Okay, not all of them are equal, they are different, they have different uses, so we're going to review that too. What is the form, the grammar form that I need to use for each one of them? We're going to see that away too, and we're going to give some examples as well. Okay, so as I repeat here with the modal verbs, modal verb is a verb, okay, but it doesn't give you an activity or an action like all the verbs do. It gives you, okay, it gives you a whole context, a whole thing, okay, it gives you a whole context, a whole thing, okay. So we're going to see right away, right about that, okay, but we're going to review the structure in positive and negative form because not all of them have a interrogative form, okay, not all of them, just some of them have an interrogative form. So we're going to see the ones that we have all of them, okay. For example, in this case we have a structure, a negative sentence, and we're going to see how that works. So here we're going to start with the subject, okay. We have a subject over here. We're going to start with the subject, always with the subject, okay. And then it says that I'm going to use the modal verb, and it will depend on the context I'm working on. For example, if I want to give a possibility or maybe an ability, I'm going to use can. What happens if I want to give a strong advice and a strong suggestion, something that is necessary? I'm going to use must, okay? What happens if I just want to give a suggestion, a recommendation, but this is not as strong? I'm going to use should, okay? It's going to depend on the other person whether he or she does that or not, okay? And means what happens if I want to talk about a 50 or 50% of something happening? Well, I can use might or may. Okay, so I have these four: can and could, must and should, might and may. Okay, I have these four actually. Okay, so all of them are going to have this instruction. For example, here my example is based on an ability. Okay, una habilidad. I can sing very well. What happens if I want to deny that sentence? I just say I can, the modal verb, and to the modal verb, I'm going to use not. I cannot sing very well. Okay, I can sing very well. I cannot sing very well. Okay, so those are, the last part. Okay, so ya les expliqué. These two are the last part that we needed to work on yesterday. We're going to finish over here so we can start with lesson number 4. Okay, as I'm telling you, this is just a really fast summary, a fast way to see all of the things that you've done before. Okay, this is just a reminder. Esto es solo un recordatorio de todo lo que ustedes ya han visto. ¿Listo? Muy bien, so this is really important, so I'm gonna let you take some screen captures maybe. And now it's time for us to, es tiempo para nosotros de irnos a nuestra evaluación. Okay, so Miss, what evaluation do we have now? We're going to see about that. Just give me a sec. All right, so let's go please to the campus virtual. Today we have program and evaluation. Well, we have programmed 2 evaluations actually. The first evaluation is writing, and the second evaluation is listening. If I am around, let me check. Yes, we have listening and writing number 1. Okay, so let's go please to the writing. Okay. Here, please, let's go to the writing part. Okay. Everybody, please go to your campus virtual. And you should find over here some icons. Let's go to the writing part. Okay. And, okay, here we have it. Okay, this is not any writing, okay? You're going to write your sus apellidos, sus nombres, okay, in the correct position. Please read all the information that you have here. And it says that estimated length from this for this writing is 30 minutes, and that is going to be at the moment I stop talking, okay? So I'm going to read the instructions carefully and write according to them. It says, you are the mayor of your town. That is, you know, the context. Te voy a dar el contexto para lo que te estoy pidiendo escribir el día de hoy. ¿Listo? You are the mayor of your town. The government is giving you, how much is it? $10,000 to invest in one of these projects. Improve the museum, improve the zoo, or improve the main park. You're going to choose just one only project, solo un proyecto, okay? And you're going to write an essay of 150 to 180 words, okay? Giving 3 reasons, okay, dándome 3 razones with why you chose the project and explaining the reasons, okay? ¿Qué es lo que vamos a utilizar acá? Present simple, past simple, okay? Have got, todo lo que hemos visto hasta el día de hoy. Imperatives, I'm going to use maybe present continuous, okay? And I can use any language and any vocabulary that I know, because this is like the whole unit summary, okay? So you can use here, this is a paragraph, so you can write and then do this, okay? So don't worry about that. You can do that and you finish and you send. ¿Listo? Terminan y envían. Y para medir las 150, 180 palabras, yo les sugiero que primero escriban aquí y después se van a Word y ahí miren cuántas palabras tienen y después envían. ¿Bien? Les pido por favor no copien de traductor porque automáticamente esas copias de traductores se invalidan, ¿ya? Así que tengan mucho cuidado con esto, ¿bien? Listo, entonces, ahora sí, iniciamos a partir de ahora 8 en punto, estamos considerando los 30 minutos para este writing, ¿listo? Lean por favor detenidamente las instrucciones. And so the test finishes at 2030, okay? Since it is really, it has a long length, okay? Es un poquito amplio lo que les estoy pidiendo. You have 30 minutes, okay? 30 minutos. So please go ahead. If you have any question, any doubt, please use the chat so I can answer them, okay? Because your classmates are going to be doing their exam, okay? So go ahead, please. You have 30 minutes.